I just wanted to touch base because I had a bit of an experience on the other day, a few days ago. I actually went to jail. This is something that I wasn't going to share, but one of my mentors said, Blythe, this is who you are. You just need to stop hiding it and let people know exactly what it is that you're into and you love and that you're passionate about. So ever since before I was born into this body, I have been a freedom fighter, and not about fighting or anything like that, but about really just stepping up for equality and equal rights and for what is right, and a truth seeker, like finding out really what is the depths of truth in this world. So that is who I am and what I'm, one of my many passions, but one that is like ingrained into this soul and this spirit, and I just can't get rid of it, and I don't want to, because I love that part about myself. And so what happened the other day is I was standing up for my rights and to the police, and part of their job is that they are allowed to arrest you if you don't do exactly what they say at that moment in time. And I really wanted to test it because I have been studying this for quite a while now, and well, like a few years, and really wanted to test it and see if all the things to do with sovereignty were like facts, if what I have been studying and what I've been learning is going to support us, is going to be able to create change in this world, and is true, and is the truth that I'm seeking, that others are seeking as well. So I was pulled over by a police officer, stood my ground, and because a lot of the things that, I don't know if you know, but the military and the police do not like each other, because the military have to abide by international law and police actually do not. So the military don't like the police because the police actually abide by local law, which is a business entity. It's not actually part of the Geneva Convention, which is our international law. So that's why they do not like each other. And like even my brother, people in my family that are lawyers and that sort of thing, they're like, if you're a sovereign citizen, you're actually classed as a terrorist. And I 100% get that, right? Like to the local government, I'm classed as a terrorist. But then to the greater like international law, I'm not, because these people that are acting to us are actually committing war crimes in those moments. So there is quite a bit, if you're starting to just read the legislation and learn about these sort of things, there is quite a bit of interesting information in there and different types of loopholes that, and even as I'm saying this, I'm so triggered because I'm nervous of what could possibly happen to me. But I was told to speak my truth, and so I'm just owning it and speaking it with my nerves and with all of the things, because this is who I am, and I need to share who I am authentically, and this is part of me. So, and I want to share really authentically in my pajamas, without any makeup on, don't even have my contacts in so I can't see properly with the glasses on. And yes, it was very interesting, and it was also extremely empowering, because in that moment I was able to, like, normally when somebody comes up to your vehicle or anything like that, they request your private information, they demand things of you, they have a gun, and like under international law, like they're committing like a few crimes already, you know. So it's really interesting when you can hold your own in that situation, when somebody's coming up to you and basically ambushing you, committing a war crime, to be able to stand your ground and not give over your private information, really assert the legislation that is true. And it is always the officer who is pulling you over or get you on the street, where it is their choice, really, whether they're going to be a jerk in that moment or whether they are going to allow the truth to really set you free, because it'll eventually set you free anyway. So that's what I wanted to see as well. So in that moment, I was able to repeat the legislation and the things that he was doing that were actually against international law, that were war crimes. And because he was an angry man, and I know that now by speaking to other people in our community, because he was an angry man, he like legit doesn't even have a person that works with him because nobody wants to work with him. But that's another story, and I honor him for that and his own journey. And I was able to say all the things that I needed to say, and his aggression reached over me with a gun in my face to grab my keys out of my car so that I wouldn't drive away, even though I'm not driving at the moment. But I never drive. I'm just in transport. The car drives itself. I'm merely walking in the car. I'm always a passenger. I never drive. So only in transport. And which was another act, an act that he shouldn't have been doing anyway. And so in that moment, I had the choice. I had the choice to do exactly what he wanted and I wasn't scared at that point but I had the choice to let fear come up and come out and let what I would normally do rule that moment and do what everybody else thinks we have to do. Hand over my license, do all the things that he is requesting of me, rather than stepping into my power and going, you know what? Well, it's not even about power. Rather than stepping into the truth and really questioning, is what I'm learning true? And can it serve us in that moment? So instead of doing that, I held my own, and I was not aggressive. I was very much respectful of what he was talking about, but then also respectful of what my truth and my lessons and my teachers have been teaching me lately. And so he decided to ring back up and get a paddy wagon out there to take me to jail, which is very interesting because each time that they actually call another officer out to that incident, the New South Wales State Service actually gets paid. So they want to get as many people out there anyway, because that's when they get extra money. And I'm very aware of that. And so that was very interesting as well. So he was all up and aggressive and all up in my face and all the things. And then the next people with the paddy wagon came out, some younger cops. And they were actually really lovely and asking why I was doing this. Like, what's the point? Just give us your private information and we'll let you go. And the whole point for me was, it's all about freedom. It's all about the next generations. The systems that we've got going on at the moment, they don't work. They're broken. We are middle-class slaves. We are slaves in our own country, and we are held to be slaves by a system, an entity. It's a business that is keeping us entrapped and disempowered so that we are slaves. We are robots, and we just keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And yes, this is time consuming, and yes, it's annoying to go to jail, and yes, it's annoying to have my time taken away from me. But in that stand, in that moment, to be able to see what the fucking truth was, see what the things that I was learning about, if they were true, if you don't have to do what these people tell you that you should be doing, and really break the slavery for myself, really break those chains in that moment. And I was able to do that, and I held my ground, and they didn't put handcuffs on me. It was a peaceful protest on my behalf. And so the whole time they're like, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, I'm doing this for your kids. I'm doing this for future generations. I'm doing this so that things can change. I'm doing this not because I want to, and I wasn't going to put this out there. I was going to keep this all to myself, because I'm not doing this to be known for this or anything like that. I'm literally doing this because I want fucking equality. I want to see a change in the world, and it has to start with us giving up a bit of our time, possibly every now and again, giving up our fucking what we're scared to step into, so that we fucking get to experience these things and get to experience ourselves in that moment, you know? Like, I was talking up against authority figures, and that has been a real struggle for me, from where I've grown up in, and from all the incidents that I've had in my life, like all the rapes, all the abuse, all those sort of things. Like, it's been difficult for me. But in this moment, like in lots of many moments, it's always an onion. You're always getting to that next layer. But in this moment, I got to that next layer where I was able to assert myself with great communication. Well, not great, average communication skills, but so much better than I ever would have done before. And be in that moment and witness my own body going into shock. Like, I was shaking, but the words were coming out clearly. When I went to get to the police station and was held in a cell, and they were interrogating me and teasing me and lying to me to try and get my information out of me, I was meditating. I was using my breath to stay so fucking calm and focused on my thoughts and my neuro pathways. My normal reaction is to get in overwhelm and shut down because of those rapes and things like that have happened in my past. So I automatically shut down and my brain stops working. It's like when you either go into flight, freeze, or fight, right? And I normally go into freeze. Like, I freeze, my brain shuts down, my body is having a death in that moment. That's why you go into one of those things. So I normally go into freeze because that's what's happened to me in my past. I've had to freeze my body so I wouldn't get hurt anymore. So for me to overcome that in that moment was fucking huge for me. I literally was in the cell while these people are telling me that I'm going to go to jail, that I'm going to be in this cell all night, that they're going to take me to Waverley Police Station the next day, to Waverley Court the next day, and then I'm going to get interrogated by this, that, and the other, and because I'm going to have sleep deprivation, I'm not going to be able to stand up for myself, and then I'm going to go to jail, and this, that, and the other. But I meditated. I used my breath. I talked to the custodians of that land. I called in my spirits, my guides, my protectors. I called in my highest, greatest self so that I would remain calm in that moment. And I did. My brain was so crystal clear calm. I was so present in that moment, whilst my body, like an animal, was shaking. And if you noticed, animals, they get over trauma like that because they drop to the ground, they shake it all out, and then they get up and go away, and they're able to just live their lives like normal. So in that moment, rather than stepping away from what I could have possibly done and just going away and going, oh yeah, I was too busy for that. Oh, this was so inconvenient. I had an amazing interview organized with a beautiful woman who I fucking love, you woman. Yeah, I had all these things that were so fucking important for me that I needed to do. But in that moment, I got to step up into my own power and really speak my truth to the freaking next level of authority within our country, right? And test legislation and test the King James Version of the Bible and test freedom and test all of the things that we hope and know are bullshit in our world and in our environment. So I got that opportunity and I had to go with it. My soul was like, okay, game on. This is what we're doing. When the officers walked into my car, like I was filming it to see what I could possibly learn from that moment, to see what would happen. And the best part of filming it for me was to be able to see the things that I missed that led me to get into that cell. Because there was things that I could have said differently that probably would have prevented me from getting in that cell, in that paddy wagon, possibly, because there was definitely things that I missed because I did get into, obviously, a bit of overwhelm and not everything came out because I'm learning off multiple people. So I did it one person's way and I missed some certain things, and which wasn't his fault. These guys are all amazing and they're all on the same team. But like I just went straight into one. And so when I realized in watching the film back that I needed to mix and collaborate different parts of things that I'd learnt from different people, and that would have potentially prevented me from going in a paddy wagon. But maybe not, because this officer, this police officer, this senior constable, was that he was an angry, bitter man and really unhappy. And maybe no matter what the fuck that I had said, except for exactly what he wanted so that he could be the authority in that moment, because that is his training, to like scare and manipulate us into giving them our private information. So no matter what I would have said, maybe it wouldn't have made a difference. But it was great that I did get to film it and that I was able to assess that. And I'm like shaking even thinking about getting this out there on social media, but this is important. Like, if we are going to change this world, yes, it starts with us, and yes, it starts with the things that are so fucking valuable, our time. It starts with our time. It starts with us wanting to get over our own stories and get over our own fears so that we can step into truth, so that we can test ourselves, we can test our environments, we can test our strength, we can test everything that we thought was true to see if it really was or if it's not, so that we know that there is a platform for change right now, and that the more of us that know about this stuff, excuse me, that's like suppression coming out from yesterday because there was a lot of that, that there is possibilities for change. The systems are breaking down in our world because they don't work. And because of us sharing and supporting each other in this mission, things are changing. Mother Earth is waking up and shifting everything. People's consciousness is waking up and shifting everything. Like, how can we, through tragedy, find brilliance in that? And it is that through tragedies such as the fires, through inequality, through all of these things, people are getting activated and switching on, and their consciousness is coming online in these moments. So we get to support new people coming into the work. We get to, as leaders, be in the work and to really share what we are freaking doing and own it and test the systems that have kept us safe but trapped for so long, so that we can work on new systems, so that leaders together can come together and collaborate and really support each other in new work and create new things that are going to support change, to support the environment, to support humanity, to really support freedom, to support new ways of government, to support new thinking, so that everybody has truth around what is really there. Because most people that are doing these amazing jobs that went into things to serve and protect people think that they're serving and protecting people, and they're actually just collecting money from us slaves and us robots to entrap us even more, to entrap them even more, not to keep us safe, but to keep us trapped and in these business entities, in these business models, in these government systems that aren't there serving us, aren't there looking after us. Like, the amount of conversations that I have with people, and they're like, oh, you know, the government, blah, blah, blah. Like, I love you, but do you really think that they give a shit about your well-being? Do you really think that your taxes are what feed building all these things that are there just for you? Yeah, it's a small part, but they get funding from so much other stuff, you know, like learning these things, learning really about sovereignty and acting on it allows us all to really start to become sovereign and stand up for our brothers and sisters, because, and our, like, not just our family, but not just our biological family, but our people that don't have this knowledge, so that we can be fully empowered and support each other in the mission, so that we're not trapped, so that people don't go to jail accidentally and then get to be working for somebody for free pretty much to create products for an industry, so that, you know, there's just so much in this. And so if we're all starting to learn bits and knowing what truth is and knowing what is serving us, then we can really step together and create a new world. And that's what's so fucking exciting to me. And so, yeah, for me, going to jail was inconvenient, but was it? It was maybe so convenient, and it was so perfect, and I'd been prepped enough to be able to handle that situation so well. And I am so blessed to have sort out that information, so that when these things pop up, I am able to hold my own. But now it's my duty to be able to help other people. It's our duty to get this information out there so that we can support each other, so that we can stop people going to jail unnecessarily, so that we can stop the industries that we think are looking after us, entrapping us and keeping us to be slaves. Like, this is the work now, people. This is what we need to step into. We need to get over what's going to be convenient. Like, it might be for you. I was having this conversation as well on Saturday night. Oh, you know, I'm doing all the work like with a really spiritual person, and you know who you are, and I fucking love you, and I can't wait to have you on my channel. But, oh yeah, I'm doing all the things, I'm supporting all the people, I'm doing all this. I'm like, but then it goes back to like, and it's not about being perfect. Absolutely not. I'm far from perfect, and I tell everybody that all the time. I'm so far from perfect. That is not where I want to be going, and that is not where I'm heading. I'm just making a standard for myself and testing and pushing myself. So with this person, they were like, oh, you know, I'm doing all the things, blah, blah, blah. And environment change and all that. It's like, yeah, but, and we were quite close, so we were just going in deep and really stretching each other. It's like, yeah, but are you really, by eating out all the time and supporting industries that have cruelty to animals, that are poisoning our land, are poisoning your body and your vessel, you know? So that's huge for me. It's all about environment. Like, maybe your internal environment, are you poisoning that? And I've had this conversation actually a few times already this week, and it's only Wednesday. You know, are you buying products constantly? Yeah, I support animal rights. Yeah, I support this and that. But then you get your meat and your fruit and veg from the supermarket that's not certified organic, and you're actually supporting the supermarkets that are trapping our farmers and giving them nothing and making them not be able to make choices that are fulfilling for their livestock and for animal cruelty and all of those things. So really look at what it is that you're doing. And yes, it fucking takes time. It'll take a few minutes when you're reading something to see what the label says. Is it certified organic? Is this free range? Are you eating beef from an animal that is trapped in a shed that has not seen the light of day, that is being fed grain and all of these poisons that are then going into your vessel, and your brain is not activated to the point where it could be activated. This is what is important as well. So it's not about doing all the things and being perfect all the time, because yes, I still drink fluoride in my water sometimes. Yes, I'll go and have a cup of tea with somebody. I will try and avoid it as much as I can, but I'm a human as well, having an experience right now in here, in this point in time in 2019, and I still want to go and communicate with my friends, and I still will eat all of those things. But it's about what you do the majority of the time, and it's about where you put your money most of the time. So spend wisely in your investment with your money. Spend wisely with your time what you are investing in. Like, somebody might say, yeah, it's super annoying to like have to go to jail for like that evening. I thought I'd have to be there for 4 hours. I was out within 40 minutes. So that was fucking amazing. I mean, the whole experience from start to finish probably took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And I missed something that was super important. But on the grand scheme of things, how long do you watch TV for in the night? Who are you supporting? Are you supporting the people that are keeping us entrapped, or are you supporting freedom? Because I hear a lot of people like putting this out there. I'm all about freedom. I'm all about freedom. I'm all about freedom. Whose freedom? Your own freedom? Because it might be more than just being out of a job and working on a laptop, because that's just another version of freedom, because then you get to do it in your pajamas. So then you think that you're more free, but you're actually less free because you spend more time on it. Or are you like all about freedom and equality and all of those things, but then you're only supporting one minute community or one minute minority rather than supporting the whole of like freedom or equality? And it can be fucking overwhelming of like, oh, I don't even know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Start with your time, start with your money and your dollar. Like, I have a lot of people, because I have hairdressing salons as one of my businesses. One of my 4 businesses is that, sorry, 2 of my 4 businesses. We have a lot of staff that are gay, bisexual, transgender, transvestite, all of the things, as well as heterosexual, all of everything. And it's such a beautiful community because everybody gets to support each other, and it's not even like we don't even think about these things as being different, but then because we've grown up in these industries, right? So to us, everybody's like, their uniqueness is their gift, and nobody is really the same. Like, no two people, no matter whether they're heterosexual, straight, transgender, or any of the things, none of these people are actually the same anyway, even if they're in that niche. So for me, my eyes are always like open to equality for all creatures and beings and humans and everything, right? So for me, there's not a lot of difference between your dog. Like, people are like all up about, oh my gosh, like, we need to stop this festival in Asia because like they're eating dogs. And it's like, you're saying that while you're eating beef. Like, you need to, like, I would love, and you don't need to do anything, but I would love you to be able to see equality for all and really step up for freedom and really step up for your environment, your internal environment and your external environment, and not just for the dogs, but for the fucking cows, like for all the animals that are treated with cruelty. Because yeah, they're boiling and burning dogs, but you can go to any seafood shop and they'll boil a lobster in front of you live while it's like, and everybody's like, oh, isn't this amazing? I'm eating lobster, while this animal is like burning up in front of you. Like, and I know there's going to be people laughing at this right now going, oh, you're a fucking idiot, you fucking vegan. And it's like, yeah, but like, would you like to see your dog being burnt like that? Would you like to see your baby being burnt like that? Because there was one time when I had to eat chicken after I had had a surgery, and a shamanic surgery, and there was that time when I had to eat chicken. And so every time I would go into the supermarket and go to buy like whole chicken, I would just see a baby, like a human baby, and I had to like, I couldn't buy it, I couldn't do it. I had to just walk away to the fruit and veggie section, just be like, oh, I love you guys, you know. But like, I literally don't see the difference between all animals and creatures, whereas other people can just be like, oh yeah, that's a dog. Oh yeah, like, you know, like I was seeing a man in the street the other day, and I was like, oh, can I pet your like border collie, because I love them? And he was like, oh, it's the dumbest dog in the world. I was like, border collies are like one of the most intelligent dogs ever. Like, it's probably smarter than us right now, because we had border collies, a border collie. And he was like, no, this dog is so fucking dumb, like, honestly, you don't understand. I was like, how often do you tell your dog that it's dumb? He's like, all the time, it's like the dumbest dog. Hey, stupid, come here. I'm like, your dog thinks that you're stupid and is treating you stupid, because like I was witnessing anyway, the dog treating the man stupid. It was quite interesting and quite funny. But the whole point of the matter is, like, we are all equal, and once we notice each other's like greatness, then, and we can support that, and once we empower each other, we can really change this world. And it's up to each and every single one of us doing one little thing, not doing all the things. I know that can be so fucking overwhelming. So do one thing that you would be a stretch to you, but you can manage, you know, like, you want to be always stretching yourself a little bit, because that is where the gold is. You know, it might be if you're a bodybuilder, glamours on, and you're always posting all these beautiful pictures of you in a bikini with all the makeup and your hair done. Do it with you in your shitty underwear, without any makeup, without your hair done, pushing your belly out so you look fat. You know, because there are times when you've eaten too much and you're just feeling like a fat bitch, because I've been that other person and only wanted to show the best part of myself and been obsessed and been 39 kilos, all of that, right? So I get all of that stuff. Or it might be the entrepreneur that's got it all held together, that is promoting all this amazing stuff, that you know, do a video, whether it's a woman, like, where you're not vulnerable necessarily, but transparent. You're as transparent as you possibly can be. Show your authentic truth of who you are in different moments, so people can see that you're a multidimensional being and that you're a fucking human, because you're not just one thing. None of us are just one thing. We have at least two voices in our head, you know, and some of us have 27 and are grateful for that. That channeling and those gifts, especially when you're working with the right people and you know what they all mean. But it's about us sharing, collaborating, speaking our truth, going to jail sometimes, learning the information, reading the backs of packages, treating all animals as creatures and beings, and treating each other with respect. I was also extremely triggered by this moment, because a person that I was supposed to have my interview with thought I was lying. And I was like, oh my gosh, why would I lie about going to jail? That is like, and that triggered me because I'm a truth seeker. And I was so triggered because she was triggered thinking that I wasn't respecting her enough. And then I'm triggered because she's saying that I'm a liar and I'm a freedom fighter. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like, we just all need to communicate better, share, honor each other, honor ourselves in that moment. And remember, we're all always learning and growing. And I might not be doing this next year, but this is what I want to be doing right now. So I am really nervous and scary because I'm not scary. I am scary sometimes. It's nerve-wracking putting this out there because, you know, people that are doing this work have passed away, have been murdered, have been all of those things. And that's always something that's at the back, triggering your reptilian brain going, and every 2 trillion cells in your body going, we're here to survive, Blythe. Stop fucking with us. And then, you know, when I was doing my meditation and my ceremony last night, when I got home, it's like, what came through from the universe was acceptance, allow it, I've got you. I was like, okay, you've got me. This is so fucking scary sometimes. And it's not in that moment, because in that moment I was like totally sweet, like in my authority. But like afterwards, like the body is like still, you know, we're not trained to let this stuff out. So come up against the things that you're scared of. Push your fucking self. You know, like whether it's the simplest thing, oh no, I can't lose weight, I can't do any of that stuff. And it's not about losing weight, it's about being confident in yourself. It's like, no, it's rainy. Oh my gosh, can you see outside? It's like storming and blah, 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 gross out here. It's about putting your runners on and going out in the wet and going for a walk. You know, it's those little things that stretch us to do something a little bit different that make the world of difference to us and to our community and environment. And you're like, I don't have a community or environment. You do. Your vibration is what you're putting out there, and it is what you will attract back. So I'm going to stop talking because this is obviously so fucking long, because it's something that I'm super passionate about. But I just wanted to say, stretch yourself. Let's really work on freedom for all creatures and beings, freedom for our environment, and respect for every single one of us, all the creatures, you know, all the humans, all the dogs, all the cows, all the stuff, for the earth. Like, let's step up, people, you know, like making companies stop using pesticides and stop using things, chemicals, all those sort of things that are giving us the cancers, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to stop because I'm so fucking passionate about it. But you are more powerful, and you have more power than you could ever know. And I hope this helps you to understand you are so fucking powerful. We as a human race, we are the ones that are enslaved and entrapped within us right now, within our own communities, within our own lives. It's just about us honoring time and seeing where we place value and put value into our time and what we value. Yes, things in that moment might be really fucking annoying and like time wasting, you might think, but then you're changing it. Like, you're tapping away at the bricks of society that have kept us trapped. So tap away at the fucking bricks, be your bravest self, and then whoever you need to get support from afterwards, get fucking support. My name's Blythe. I'm a freedom fighter. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also a fucking amazing coach, and I support people through their transformation and through their changes. And in one session, I do one-on-one sessions, and I do all of the things, like help people create their new businesses, help people with their businesses take it from where they are to their next level, to add another 0 on there. I help people with their relationships, how to empower themselves within a relationship, how to fall back in love with the person, how to be seen and heard, all of those things. Help people how to come up with a weekly schedule of how to put in play, joy, pleasure, with their partner, with themselves, with space, with the earth, whilst creating these amazing businesses, whilst creating these amazing bodies, whilst creating more wealth. all of the things. That is my fucking forte. Like, I love it and I'm passionate about it, and I can do it really quick to the point where I like have one-on-one coaching with people. But a lot of the times they get so much out of a strategy session, which is in one session, that they are so empowered that they don't really need to be coached. But there is some people that also are like, fuck, I see what your value is in one strategy session. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine what 6 weeks of coaching or 8 weeks of coaching or 3 months of coaching or 1 year of coaching would be like with you. And then they step into that, and then it's just amplified, and the speed is much greater with one-on-one coaching than it is with them doing it themselves, because they are fully held accountable. They are seen for face value, because I see their face value, but then I also get to see their multiple timelines and their possibilities. So it's up to them to step in and step up and see what's going to align with them, and for me to be able to hold them accountable and just ask the right questions, because their higher self, their future self, they already know all the things that they need. So I just activate that within themselves. And some people can see that as not really, well, what's the fuck that? Like, that's all within me anyway. Yeah, but you just need somebody to help you access it. So I am an activator, a human potential activator, and I help people to access their human potential within this lifetime. If you're ready to step up, and yes, I can do it within a 1 hour, like a 90-minute session, or yes, I can do it within a one-on-one coaching session of 6, 8, however many. Normally my programs are 8 weeks, 8 weeks, and then you can continue if you'd like, and most people do, 8 weeks. And not because they haven't figured out the things, but because they've like had massive advancements within their wealth, relationship, all of those things, and they want to take it even deeper, because they're fully supported by the money that they're bringing in, by all of the things that they're bringing in. So they take it to the next level, which is what we all want to be doing. We all want to be working with coaches. I work with coaches. I've extended coaching with the coaches that I'm working with right now, Alexi Preston and Alexi Panos and Emily Gallagher. They're the fucking legends, and I love like being in their group, right? So who are you going to step up with? Is it yourself? And if it is, I honor you and respect you and fucking do it. Be empowered. Is it with a group? I also have a group program that will be launching at the end of October, where we work on this stuff as a group. So then you've got a community of people that you want to work with, because the people that work in groups and the people that work in one-on-one are different, because the people that want in groups are also wanting a tribe, a community of people that are going to be upgrading together, and they've got new friends, they've got new people that they will have with them probably for the rest of their lives, that will support and hold them accountable. So that's probably the difference between working in a group and working one-on-one. Whereas one-on-one, me and you are able to work together and actually work on all of the different things, the personal development things that pop up when you're trying to create new things that are maybe preventing you from being super in your power all the time, or preventing you from starting that new business, ending that relationship, creating the new relationship, being better in your relationship, not better, but you know what I mean. Business, environment, your body, all the things, right? So it just depends. So neither is better or worse, or less than or more than. They're just different from what you want to get out of it. So I encourage you to get in touch with me, DM me, what it is that you want to know about, and what, maybe just message like in the comments what it is you would like me to talk more about, because I'm only talking about this because so many people have asked me to talk about it. So here it is. I hope that was of some value, and I hope for those of you that were triggered as fuck by this and just think I'm an idiot, I love you so much, especially my brother. That'll be the number one. I love you so much, and allow it to be the acceptance of everything that we thought was possible, everything that we thought we had to do and had to be was all maybe a lie. It was all maybe a lie that kept us enslaved, kept us as robots, and kept us trapped. So I challenge you to challenge yourself, to challenge your psyche, to challenge your wallet, to challenge your environment, to challenge your time, to challenge the people around you, to challenge all of the things. Yes, I just broke my glasses. To challenge all of the things so that you can see who you are at the depths of your soul, behind all your masks, behind your family programming, behind your DNA, the things that trigger you the fucking most, that give you the gifts of growth. So step into that growth, step into the uncomfortability, because to be really fearless, you need to be uncomfortable. How often are you willing to get uncomfortable? I am uncomfortable so much of the fucking time. But then I come back to my places to recharge as well. Obviously the earth and nature and all of that sort of stuff. But a lot of the time it's uncomfortable. But that's where the growth is. And we need more people to step up and step into being uncomfortable and step into the growth, so that there's more unique people, less superficiality. There is more truth out there. That's what it's about. Let's be true, let's be honest, let's be real, let's be supportive of each other. So not necessarily supportive of the masks that we wear. Yes, we support each other no matter what, but let's see through them. You know, that's what people have been saying to me a lot this week. Like, this is what's important to me, this is what's important to me. Okay, cool, what's behind that? And that's the truth. And like, we don't get to really think about these things so much. So think about these things. Yeah, freedom's everything to me. What's behind it? What's behind it? Yeah, I'm going to go out and like fuck heaps of people this week. I need to do that. If I was only going to live like for another year, I'm going to go out and fuck heaps of people. What's behind it? What's behind it? And I don't care what it is. Just I'm challenging you to think about these things, because I want you to be challenged. I want you to see behind your stories. Your stories entrap you. What's behind your stories free you. So let's really fucking be free. And you might be able to do all of this without even leaving your home. You might be in your pajamas, doing this all from your home, and that's brilliant. Whatever it is, I don't care. Just do something different. Stretch yourself. I fucking love you so much. Like, honestly, we have so much strength and courage and support. And everybody that is in my community, you are so fucking supportive, and I love you. And for all of those ones that trigger me as well, I love you so much, because you allow me to grow and give myself more freedom and more ability to be truth and honest and to empower others. So thank you. Like, let's just be authentic and speak our truth. And if there's something that triggers you and you think that I'm being bullshit on, call the bullshit. Call the bullshit. Call it in a proactive way, though. Let's be proactive in our approach, you know? And let's really help people step up. P.S. Whatever goes down your toilet goes into the ocean. So make sure that you only put good stuff down your toilet. It's just something that came up this week. I love you so much. I love you so much. Peace. I love you so much. We got this. Changing the world together.